What's up, everybody? Test. Y'all can hear me? Good deal. Let's get started. Are we rational today? Let's check it out. I'm still streaming live from destination. Are we all good here? How's the bandwidth? Everything looking solid? Can you hear me? Oh, good. Okay. Smash that like button, all y'all. Hit it. Oh, there must be a delay. Okay. All right, we got a new event, a new thing going on here. We are pushing somewhat irrational. We're going to have that kind of yellow light caution today, which means that the DD band rule doesn't apply for the market moving to one side of the band or the other with the ratio coming out the way it is. So right now we are going to be rational with caution, yellow light. It's seriously looking pretty good here. This is great. We knew the CPI was going to come in not being abnormal. Like those are really good numbers that we saw. That was expected, though. Nothing is unexpected there. So don't go listen to the talking heads. We predicted this entire thing. They're going to tell you exactly what you already know. That's a beat, sure. We said it'd come in probably about 5. All the estimates are 5.1, 5.2. Obviously, with unemployment getting worse, you'd expect the CPI year-over-year print to come in a little lower. That's pretty normal. Again, the data points that are important are not just reacting to this, but understanding what goes into it. We had the mechanics that have been causing inflation are being reseated, as in people that there was a very abnormal job situation where people were getting jobs at very high salaries and not doing much production for that company. About 4 rounds of layoffs, 3 rounds of layoffs were last year. In the unemployment data, you can see all of it. And then people were getting laid off and getting their jobs back, which really wasn't fixing the problem as much. Now people are getting laid off and not getting their jobs back. The unemployment data is what is really important. And that's why we get ahead of this. Oh, this is not safe for my laptop. So being very important to predict these CPIs is understand the unemployment situation, because that is the major mechanic for inflation for the first year. And the shortages of supply of labor, transportation, storage, raw materials are the reasons you're experiencing inflation to begin with. Now we're going to experience inflation for other mechanics. This is like a second layer of inflation. The fact that the unemployment numbers are going up, that just supports the carries right here. And I think this week we have the Michigan number. Good morning. Hey guys, monthly map is out. It's released. It's live. It's bare bones, but it's out and it's awesome. It works. It's not as pretty as it will be when it's done, but it is awesome. When it's done, it will have all kinds of neat things added to it. But what it does, it just draws a map for you, which was step 1. We're going to immediately pivot to getting futures out. I have 2 meetings today over that. And we'll get futures out first, and we'll circle back and we'll make monthly maps beautiful. Yeah. So we have earnings start on Friday, bank earnings especially. Looking to see if there's anything incredibly. I'm sorry, that's yesterday. PPI, yes, PPI tomorrow. And looking at these, I'll show you which numbers are going to be very important. These jobless claims are it. So just to kind of detail for the market opens right now, you have people that were getting laid off. These are continual jobless claims. So you get laid off and then you get a job very quickly, and this number stays low. But if you can't get a job quickly, this number stays high. These people that repeatedly filing for unemployment. So you see that there are more and more unemployed folks that can't get jobs back. wages are plummeting, CPI is going to plummet. It's easy to guess that. We said it's going to come in as a beat. That was great. Full disclosure, I was long 3 contracts overnight, and I closed at the top. I mean, only about like 20, like $3,000, something like that. Just because I was betting, I was just taking a gamble, either lose 3 or make 3. And I made the 3 and closed it out in my big account, or my big account, my challenge account. So let's get rock scooter front center markets opening. Let's go. 1 minute, we got it. Everyone smash that like button while you're here. How do you activate it? Oh, it should be live. Let me ask him why it's not live. Hold on. Let me ask him really quick. Oh, well, I guess monthly maps will be in tomorrow. He thought I didn't approve it, so he didn't push it live. So it will be pushed live tomorrow. It's awesome, though. I'll have to demonstrate it tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to let the data come through BLU right at the open. Take a look at this. Ooh, that is looking pretty solid. We are irrational, so we can take things like a little bit. Okay, I do like what I see. I do think this is pretty okay news. I don't want to be too. Let me go ahead and get everything. I'm just talking about what they meant. PQ hedge break. Be very careful. On the upside break, we're kind of looking nice there, but be careful on any downside breaks. Resiliences are nice and strong. Lower support at half gap. I do like that. UVXY. Let's run that really quick. VIX is looking pretty good. Be aware there's a bull zone bottom, so the market's going to move and get volatile. So we're going to push higher today for sure. I think that is pretty decent. Look on this. Kind of make sure I'm looking at this, and IWM's looking okay. SPY's looking good. See any pullback range on SPY. 411.5 round hedge pressure looking good. Supporting right here at the open, that is looking pretty solid. I think I'll just get something tiny right off of, this is mode 2 resilience, right off of the line there. Let's go. Mode 2 resilience, just to support, no irrational moves. It's looking pretty solid. I'm not going to take a lot of risk on this one. Well, when you break the DD bands and come back in, it's irrational on the outside. It's cautionary on the inside, so it just means trade small. Okay, so I'm getting him to push monthly maps out right now. He thought I had not approved the release, and that's probably me typing too quickly, so he's going to push it live. If you guys get a log out message, I just refresh and log back in. You should be good. So I'm looking to trade again S&P. Let me get those DD bands up really quick. Just estimate where they're going to be. They are, roughly speaking, about. Okay, I'm just going to estimate since I don't have multiple monitors to do this. We're going to kind of guess really quick. These guys are going to be right about. Do we fill? Oh, and there could be a gap fill as well. Okay, so they're going to be right about here. And talk about this in just a second. I don't know if we did fill in that S&P gap, so let's go back in time and look at that. I'm missing. Where's my? Oh, there you guys are. Howdy. Okay. Welcome, everybody. Make sure you smash that like button, everybody. Got a couple hundred of y'all here today. Y'all like the knowledge bombs we drop? Give us some love here. Make sure we get right on that close print here. I need to figure out what that closing price is. That's close enough. Okay, so let me actually go back to Thinkorswim a little more accurate here. Let's see. Normally I can do this with my bigger setup, but here we go. We're doing it like this game. Should we get that SPY fill? Let's go ahead and mark this. Let's see what that gap fill is on SPY, just to see if it didn't mark it. It looks really funky with the with the DD bands on SPY. Okay, right here, let's look at it. Okay, this is going to be right at about 413.97. Okay, this is my upper target today, 413.97. If it does push. So Nasdaq's pulling back just like before. Nasdaq's going to hit some selling pressure. So keep an eye on Nasdaq and make sure this isn't going to be able to pull some market back today. Just keep your eyes peeled on that. 413.97. Okay, good, perfect. Marked perfectly. All right, so I've got a gap that hasn't been filled. We've got a nice little hedge pressure bounce looking in right here. It's looking pretty solid and stable. I do want to trade from here to there and probably call it. We'll see how that works. I'm kind of running remote, so I'm just estimating where the bands are. They were printed last night, and I think the conversion crew has it in Discord. So keep an eye out for the Nasdaq pulling back. QQQ hedge break. This is going to be very important to watch today. And I think he's going to push the monthly maps live. So as soon as he does, I'll demonstrate that because it's going to be super cool. And let's see. He said monthly map should be there if I push. And it's there. Oh, okay, you guys ready? Y'all ready? Let's do our first monthly map. So let me give me a ticker. Let's do it. This feature has taken us 6 months to build the infrastructure to get this feature out a lot longer. Well, since we dreamed it up, it was a concept and we started doing the work. We put in the project in December to move all of our server infrastructure around just to be able to do this. Not SPY. Let's do something different. I'll do SPY in a little bit. Give me a ticker. Let's celebrate monthly map. This is going to forecast stuff in the future. How are we doing on the trade? So monthly map is something that's designed to forecast risk in the future. Apple, AMC. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Let's do Apple real quick. Monthly map. Okay. Monthly map should. Again, I haven't tested it live, so we'll see it. We'll see it working live. All right. There it is. It's the framework, but it's there. So what it is telling you, again, how to analyze this, we'll teach a class on it, but look at this. So you guys refresh, it should be on every refresh, it should be there now. Everybody pick a number between 1 and 20, count to that, and then click refresh. That way everybody doesn't click refresh at the same time and crash the server. So be courteous to your teammates. All right, here we go. So it means when you are having a lower bull zone, it means that the Apple Apple is becoming more bullish as the weeks go by and less bearish as the weeks go by, and more volatile this week, and same volatility that week, and very volatile that week. So the volatility is going to pick up over the next month. Not volatile right now, but volatility is going to be present as the weeks go by. Isn't that pretty cool, right? So you can see that Apple has bullishness all the way down to there, which does support that tech and everything is still bottomed-ish. But even if it falls here this week, it's still bullish the next 2 weeks. So Apple is still relatively bullish for the next 2 weeks. And people are becoming more bullish as they're willing to buy lower, and less bearish as they have to go shorter or lower to be short. So the bear side is being etched away week over week. Like basically the bear side is just disintegrating for the next month. You guys see that? This is exactly what it tells you. And the volatility here is probably where the big moves are going to come. So volatility is as the space between the two gets bigger. Apple's going to have a relatively mild week. Things are going to be really nice and small. See, the space in here is about the size of these daily candles. This week and this next 2 weeks, Apple's going to have 2 very volatile weeks. You're going to see moves that are going to be big in these 2 weeks. Pretty cool, right? So then we one more. It said Disney. Okay, let's just do Disney. Just to show things. I am stoked. And now, one of the things we're going to make will be like instructions on the chart that will show let's make sure Disney's not having, so Disney has data coming through. So DD is 0.94 today. That's super good. I wonder what's going on with does Disney not pulling data? Disney not pulling data today. Disney, what you doing? Let me refresh and see if that changes anything. Okay, so Disney, for some reason, is not pulling data. Let's try something else. You guys said one more, NVIDIA. Somebody said, Eric said, look at maps. It's NVIDIA. Okay, hold on. And there it is. Same thing with NVIDIA. The bull side is getting stronger. The bear side is getting weaker. And the bull side is getting slightly weaker here. So you have bulls willing to buy the dip. You can imagine that if it falls, the worst case scenario, this is what it looks like, as long as it stays bullish. So basically, people are more bullish on NVIDIA this week. They're basically waiting through the data this week and then willing to scoop the dip up the week after. The bear side is becoming less bearish again week over week. So the bear side is disintegrating as of today. So when we wake up tomorrow, we rerun the map and take a new look at it. But it's pretty cool. So SPY, let's take a look at that because that's going to be the finale here. SPY should be pretty jumbled up because it's going to have those 0 days, right? So let's see. Yeah, there we go. So one of the things is that what we're going to try to do is, you have those 0 days now is where it's not going to be boxes when we're done drawing it. It's going to be lines. So this is the framework to draw the lines. But you can see that SPY is becoming basically flat, right, for the next week. These are all 0 days. And then, of course, the bear side is just disintegrating again, just like everything else. So the bulls are holding strong and then willing to buy lower again at that same time that the rest of the market's doing the same thing. There's some volatility in here, volatility in there. We see some big news events coming out. But you can see that SPY is a rock. Yeah. So leaving the boxes on there for some reason, or some way will be easy. It'll get jumbled up when we have a lot of stuff drawn on there. So right now, when I say this is the bare bones, artistically, we're going to make this look pretty. But I mean, the information is all there, right? So it's really neat to see how there are just bears just planted all over the place and the bulls are holding steady. And the bears are squeezing out of their short. Like all these bears they're expiring. And so all of this by this week, all these people are going to get squeezed out of their shorts by that week. So it's an interesting thing to set up. One of my trades are losing, so let me see what's going on here. Anyways, this monthly map looks pretty cool. Oh, hedge break. Let me go ahead and make sure I'm not like sleeping on this. What's going on here? Oh, hedge break and resilience is still positive. It's interesting to see. Okay, maybe I should be paying attention to this. What do we got going on here? Hedge break, QQ hedge break. I should probably be paying attention. Okay. We are in Q resilience is falling. We should have index divergence. Again, this I need to double check this. This should be flagging. So that's a bug we need to work out. Okay. So let's look at this. We are pulling back. S&P is holding the fort. Markets are decently okay, but the hedge pressure irrational break is kind of a big deal. So we're going to be very careful here. I only put one contract on there. There's that NASDAQ again. It's NVIDIA. Yeah, let's take a look at that. I don't think it's okay, but let's see what happens at the gap fill. This is just pummeling the market lower. Boo. Okay. Here, let's just make sure we watch this here. Everything's looking okay. UVXY hedge break. Oh, all right. Let's take a look at that. All right, let's analyze what's going on here. So be careful, MHP break on NVIDIA. Yep. Okay. Let's just take a look at this. SPY. So the divergence should be flagging red with these conditions. So I'm going to have to check on that button. All right, so SPY resilience is still really, really, really strong. I still want to trade to fill the gap, so I'm not scared of this just yet. Knee-jerk reaction, CPI. I think that's exactly what you think people are going to do, pull back. And things are still okay. Let's watch QQQ really quick. Okay, and keep an eyeball on your UVXY. So if the VIX starts to do anything crazy, then pay attention there. So this is just a direct hedge break on Qs. Okay. I still think this is going to be opportunity. I mean, SPY is still just rock solid strong. Let's go ahead and check the tech sectors, and let's actually do monthly map on them and take a look at it. The XLK pulling back. Let's do monthlies on this. Kind of see what that looks like. Again, bull side strengthening, bear side weakening. This is awesome for analysis. I love this. Okay. XLC solid like a rock. So this is solid right here. So support, very solid. Thanks, man. This is all over the place. So XLV is going to be a very interesting one. XLF financials. Take a look at this. So financials, again, solid, bear side disintegrating, but 2 weeks from now, right? So we might get a knee-jerk sell-off today, but in reality, the market is very stable, very stable. And the volatility that's going to come in the next couple of weeks. So if today we crash on a hedge break, that's going to be a big deal. Unexpected with everything being as strong as it is, but we'll have to see if that does play out. I think things look okay there. Wow, those monthly maps make it quick to look at stuff. I like it. It's not, so you have to think of it like, so don't think of it as predicting direction or that you're expecting it to drop. What it means is if it does drop, there are bulls still hanging on there. So if there are buyers, you don't expect it. You only lower price to find buyers. So what you tell yourself is if it were to drop, that's about where it would drop to. Doesn't mean it has to. Because if you're lowering price to find buyers, you're in an area where there are buyers. Market makers don't have to drop the price that far to find buyers if you're in a bull zone already. They'll find buyers here. So if the bull zone is getting lower as the weeks go by, the market makers just need to drop it little bit by little bit to scoop out some buyers because there already have been proven buyers there. So what it tells you is that you're in an area of support, and support gets even stronger as that bull zone lowers. So it may mean that you don't have to fall as far to find buyers. And that's the way to look at it. So what I tell myself is if the bull zone is lower and lower as weeks go by, the bull side, the bull strength gets stronger as the weeks go by. So bulls are more bullish and more bullish. If the bear side gets weaker as the weeks go by, as in the high gets lower, then it has to fall farther to have people short, which means those puts are probably longs with put protection. And that's when those longs get squeezed. So be careful here. This is really scary right here. UVXY hedge break, so watch out. Second test of that. So let's keep our eyeballs on this one. Actually, I don't need to stare at the chart. I'm going to watch the light bulb. Yeah, monthly maps, dude. It's the framework. It's awesome. It looks good. It works. That's the thing we needed to do was make sure it works. With the server load, with everybody calling it, with us pulling it, it took Ash and I were talking about monthly maps back in December. When I created the concept late last year, and then we had to migrate. So Ashton was here for a lot of the conversation. We do so much work on the back end to be able to create the server processes that make those calculations possible. It was very, very, very long process. But the thing is that future proofs a whole bunch of other stuff Rocket Scoop is going to build, which is fantastic. Being able to communicate with our servers in one gulp, like a monthly map, is pulling large amounts of data. We create all these APIs to be able to recall large amounts of data from our own servers and bounce those calculations around to complete these things. So this has built a framework that Rocket Scooter's eventual vendor marketplace will be able to use as well. We'll be able to create complex calculations server side and pull data forward. So this was 5 months, because it's already April, to make this. And the fact that I just push a button, it works. You guys all push a button, it works. Servers didn't crash, something didn't work, which means we actually designed this mofo very well. I'm very proud of the team. It's fantastic. And also, you guys all press refresh at the same time and didn't crash the servers either. We've expanded so rapidly. We have so many new members at Rocket Scooter. It's insane. We've been expanding 3 times faster than I thought we would. So we've been building robust infrastructure to support and handle all the throughput. So we've been completely sitting there just having meetings every single day about this, and I love it. It works very well. It's killer, man. I just like Ashton. Look at this, dude. I just went to monthly map. I'm going, okay, let's see what's going on. What's neat about this, and again, we're gonna have to think about visually, because since SPY has all those 0 days, right? I'm sorry, those 0 days, all those daily expiring weekly options, it's gonna get a little clustered. It's still useful information, but I'm curious, when we do visually draw this, if you guys are artists out there, I'm gonna ping you to help us out. If you're an artist and you want to help us create a good look for this that conveys the same amount of information, not just boxes, but I'm thinking like lines, zones with some text. If you help me visually create something that's cool, like if you create something that I like and I use, I'll give you a kick-ass reward, as in Rocket Scooter membership, as just a prize for just being the person that comes up with a cool idea. So visually stunning, conveying the same information. Get out your Photoshops, build us something. Like a cloud style, like, how do traditional technical, because I don't know a lot about traditional technical analysis, but how would they convey information out in the future? Maybe cloud. I think clouds are the way to do it, like shaded regions that are just like gray, like this. I don't want it to look like something else, right? Obviously, I don't want people to see it and be like, oh yeah, is that like this other thing? I want it to have like and just think about it. So if you guys have any cool ideas on how to do this, but SPY's looking hella strong, like super, super supportive right here. I mean, you are right on the edge of the bull zone. Now it's not becoming more bullish, I'm becoming less bullish middle of next week. But then the bulls step in like right after the 21st. So this is monthly expiration, right? So after the monthlies expire, the bulls are solid here. And again, becoming less bullish as weeks go by. So the market is not really moving on bullishness. The market is moving on short squeeze, and you can easily see that here. Shorts are abandoning their positions as the weeks go by, or letting them roll off. So with shorts becoming less short, that's what's fueling the squeeze. Bulls aren't necessarily becoming that much more bullish. They're slightly more bullish, right? So keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and analyze what we have. DVXY hedge break has cured itself. So this is an easy way to see that there's a short squeeze that's fueling the market. Just people that are long with puts or active shorts are just abandoning their positions even after 2 days. Like, it's just Thursday and Friday. I mean, you can see the bears are just gone. Now, today might change the landscape a little bit, but I think it's such a beautiful thing. We can kind of go through, which sectors are causing this. Like XLE, rock solid, right? Energy bears are dissipating. XLF, financials, bulls are strengthening, bears are weakening even faster. You can say easiest way to do that. So you can see that over the next couple of weeks, there's just more and more and more bulls. So actually, the short squeeze is being supported in some of these sectors by more people actually longing sectors. It's interesting to see that. So over the weeks, you're going to see more bulls step in, which is, oh my God, I love this. God, this makes analysis so much easier. I'm in love, guys. Now, I'm happy because it took us 5 months to get all this stuff built, this infrastructure. But I'm going to tell you something. This is the next phase of Rocket Scooter. It's fantastic. Let me go ahead and click daily mode. Remove the monthly map. Oh, it's so clean, too. It's quick. Quick and clean. Look at how quick that is. Oh, we also have a, let me refresh that. It's a little, for the first release, I'm very proud of our team. That is kick-ass. Let's get all this stuff up here on the screen. DD95. So like, no matter what, right, with DD95, it's supporting the bull zone seems to be about appropriate. Resiliences are starting to hold up pretty good, so I do like what I see. You need to be careful in that index divergence. Now, this light looks to not be the logic here. It's not flagging that light. It should be flagging it. So I'm going to have to check that. Is today rational? Well, you have red and green lights here that say no. Not super rational. Not yet. Yeah, NQ is trying to push positive. You got to be very careful on this one. Ugh. Just be careful on hedge breaks. Remember, we lose that by 140 and a half right here. This is that spot where this is going to scare me out of my trade here. Did I pass an eval yesterday? No, this is the one I've had for a while. I only did 3 evals with ETF, and I did them like a couple weeks ago. I passed all 3 of them. Well, okay, now all the hedge breaks are coming through. All right, let's check out Russell now. Man, analysis is becoming so quick. I love it. Okay, so another part of the project that we have too. Do you see how the lights? We're changing this process that flags the light to be client side, because what happens is we're doing these calc server side and sending them through, and you can see the light bulbs have a somewhat of a delay on the process update. So what happens is, like right now, it's 2 seconds and it flags red. We're trying to push that to be real time. So this is another project we have. So just one of the little side commentaries is that these lights are calculated server side and sent forward to you, or the triggers. We're doing a new project to do this client side so that they're real time. So when the candles update, these lights will flag in real time. When you program your own alerts, you can't have any bit of a delay. So this is another upgrade project we're doing. So when like IWM flips to red, it comes up like 2 seconds after the trigger on the light bulb. So that's one of the new projects we're doing. Honestly, I think resilience looks great. S&P resilience is fantastic. We are dropping below. Now remember, I need to be greater than 10 or less than negative 10 for me to think of there being a bearable, strong bearable setup. And with the S&P still being 58 and good, it means the sectors that are looking great. Let's pull those up really quick. Let's kind of look for, where's my, oh, I don't have my spider search. Oh, maybe I closed that down on accident. All right, let's just guess. Who's the winners today? Let's run the scanner really quick and take a look at, let's see. Oh, there's got resilience, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Daddy wants his trade. Let's see if we have. I wish, you know what I want to do? I want to make a project that just does, you just look at the sectors. That'd be really great. Sector resiliences, that's kind of one of the things I do want to kind of do. So let's actually, maybe I don't want to do that. Let me look at, let's just look at hedge breaks to the downside, because I want to see 45 MHP breakdowns. Okay, hedge pressure breakdowns, we have 35. So that's pretty big. And with SPY and others pushing down, let's see which stocks are problems here. Let's add a filter on custom range to make this guy be greater than $10. So it's just not, let's remove the penny stocks from the list. Oops. And let's see, man. Oh, dude, the more stuff we make, I love navigating the platform. It is just so much fun just to go through here and line things up. Are you guys liking the new stuff we've made? How about some commentary? Give us some love. Are y'all liking all the new features? It's becoming quicker by the day to just get information. The more things we make, it's becoming fun to pilot the boat. I'm not gonna lie. I love it. You're becoming fluent with all the tools. Lead. Oh yeah. So I have 2 meetings today to talk about future big plans with Rocket Scooter, by the way. So I'm just letting you guys know these 2 things. If you think we've been doing big stuff, these 2 things could be the biggest things we do this year. And y'all know. Just know that the next stuff we want to do is going to be big, really big. So we're working to get futures data and futures trading in the platform and minimum futures data. So this is the first couple of things we're working on. Resiliences are looking nice. These hedge breaks, IWM saved itself. So keep an eyeball on these right here. These lights flagging red and then yellow is good. But if these things start turning red and then red, it's kind of a bad news thing. Let me make sure I have all my information here. Let's go to QQQ. I want to make sure we didn't hit a QQQ gap fill because I want to make sure I keep tabs of all of these gap fills. Smash that like button. I wish there was a love button, like a giant heart. There's also a oops. Okay, let me try this again. Oh, I picked let me pick the daily chart, not the 6-hour chart. Okay. All right. There we go. A little bit of a hiccup there. All right, so let's mark some of our gap fills. Make sure we keep tab of these because these are important. I'm just going to mark. Oh yeah, there's one right there. Perfect. White line for gap fills. And this is just something you should always do upkeep before. So I want to make sure that clone. Oh yeah, this resilience is looking as good as they are. I don't know. I mean, this is looking. This is great. This is gonna rally from here. I knew it, and I'm glad I'm long because I was early, but I'm glad I'm long. We're moving higher, guys. We're gonna fill these gaps today. Watch this turn the other way. Resilience, that's really good. What do y'all think about the resilience? Let's get a vote in here. You think it's good? This market's gonna save itself today? All those shorts piling in right now, about to get squeezed. Make some orange juice out of them this morning. Resilience for the fucking win. There you go. Okay, there's our gap fills, right? Looking super, super, super solid, right? Save. And so we're to fill the gap to the upside. NASDAQ resilience. We're going to break through hedge pressure. It's going to move the other way. So that's pretty solid. I do like it. I like it a whole lot. Let's make sure we maintain that thing. So the stocks that we're pulling back, let's see what some of the ones are that were looking pretty bad. If you guys want to check out Rocket Scooter, remember the link below for the extended trial, our whole platform, you can play with it for $35 a month. If you haven't tried it out yet, keep saying session expired and your membership says no memberships advice. Oh, Jay Hicks, you probably didn't sign up for something. I bet you tried to upgrade and didn't go all the way through. Send me a message. I bet you it didn't charge you or you accidentally canceled it. But what I'll tell you to do is go through the steps again. If you really want to get back in right now, go through all the steps again. Either let me send you a message really quick. JHEX, send me a message Discord really quick. I will get you. Hold on. I think I know what happened. I don't want you to be without. Let me get him back in here. Don't go anywhere. Come on, resilience, baby. Let's hang in there. Remember, irrational resilience is going to flop around a lot, so be very careful. I'm not celebrating yet. It got really strong though pretty quickly, right? How's my trade doing? Am I surviving? Yeah, if you accidentally kicked yourself out of the platform, send me a message. I'll work with y'all. Okay. Yeah, if you guys actually, I'm just talking to Slacks really quick. If you accidentally lost access today with that pop-up, take some screenshots or some information about what you went through and give him the Slacks real quick, but he'll get with you one at a time. If you somehow canceled your membership with the pop-up, that's one of the things that, like, basically your extended trial, it's like, hey, sign up now, blah, blah, blah. If you lose your membership because of that, we'll get you in the next hour. Hang tight. I know some people happen with. Jay Hicks, not your fault. There is I'll be straightforward and honest with you guys. Remember back in the day when they had the free trial, right? And so sometimes when you would upgrade on the free trial, there were people like upgrading and would sometimes sign up 2 or 3 times. Like just they would upgrade, it would go through, it wouldn't show up. There's a conflict because the free trial was really hard to program actually. And so the bug was we had to put in some stops to prevent people from signing up for 2 memberships at once. This is to protect you guys from signing up twice. And what it would do was it would cancel the free trial. When you click upgrade, immediately would just kill the free trial. I mean, if you lost your free trial access, you lost your free trial, no big deal. But some of that code migrated over to the extended trial where if you click the upgrade, it's canceling your extended trial before you actually click the upgrade button. So what's happening is it's removing your prior membership before you actively subscribe to another one. So there's a small period of time, if you don't go through with actually signing up, you're like window shopping, and it goes to the cart, you actually lose your extended trial membership. So it's only with that, and it's only with that pop-up. And it's just something they're fixing. I thought they fixed it this patch, but if not, they're going to fix it tonight. So if you lost your membership because you're window shopping that pop-up, that would be why. Just letting you guys know. So our bad on that one. But we'll get you in and we'll adjust your accounts. We'll hook y'all all back up. So Slacks will give you a coupon if you're in the extended trial. so that you don't miss the pop-up. We'll give you the coupon with the deal, the really awesome deal that all the first extended trials get to lock in and grandfather in that lower rate forever, and then we'll hook you guys up. How come MHP is negative? What does that mean? That means if you touch monthly hedge pressure, it's not expected to hold, but only when you get there. So if I go to SPY, for instance, we're so far away it doesn't even matter. But what it means is the majority of market cap is actually right at monthly hedge pressure or below monthly hedge pressure. So you have equal spread of bull and bear stocks. So example, if SPY were to collapse because other stocks are selling off, this number would probably be lower. It's a tiebreaker when you get here. You don't use it now. So as we get close to the monthly expiration, you'll see the price is going to get really close to monthly, right? Monthly hedge. And so if you are trying to take a trade off of monthly hedge using your liquidity maps, right, or analyze a possible bounce there, whatever you want to do. If I want to take this leg 2 on a BLU, for instance, BLU breaks hedge pressure and falls to monthly hedge. Do I want to take that long back up for that BSU, right? That's this trade right here. Do I want to take that? Well, when I get here at yellow, any pivot off of yellow for the index, you can use yellow resilience as a tiebreaker. So it doesn't apply right now. The Power of Rocket Scooter is fantastic. Thomas Robinson, man, you're awesome, dude. Gives you daily plans and they're lacking your trading. Consistency is key. Love you, man. You guys are awesome. My 10K account's almost at 40K right now because I'm long in that account as well. So I'm up almost 300% in that account. I tweeted the broker statement. So if you guys want to see the performance report on that account with the stats, I'm still on vacay. I was laying by the pool yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. I was laying by the pool yesterday working. I don't stop working. I love my job though. I love you guys. I love this company. Actively running a big tech company is something I never thought I'd be doing, but it's a learning experience and it's fun. And what's funny is that, coming from the oil and gas world, as far as my professional experience, no idea how tech companies run. So a lot of Rocket Scooter members and traders were like, "Hey, Matt, I know I kind of work in the tech industry and I'm an executive of this tech company. Let me help you. Let me show you the ropes." And I'm like, "Oh, thank God. Teach me how." So everybody that's working on our team is like teaching me how to literally manage tech company, because jumping into it head first was way outside of my expertise. And so I had to learn how to do this. Like, yeah, I made a cool product, but you ever watch Shark Tank when they're like, that's a product, not a company? There's a huge difference between the two. And I had to learn how to turn my cool product into a cool company. So the difference is like customer experience, customer satisfaction, all the stuff we've been working on. I've had so many volunteers step up and just be like, "Hey, I want to be part of this. Let me help you." And then we gave them jobs. So, and as Brian is saying, it means there's a certain amount of stocks in an index that are below their MHP market cap, right? So like one Apple could be worth 50 tiny stocks, depending on what it's doing. But it's basically the market cap balance. So it's like if you take all the weight of the index and put it on the seesaw, this is telling you that the index is pretty balanced as far as monthly hedging goes. So leading into the monthly expiration, the 21st, right? Is it the monthly? You can see that you have equal split, which makes a lot of sense because you have a lot of sector rotating. Really strong sectors in one area and really weak sectors in another. So that's one of the things to take note of. Resilience is still hanging in there. Those hedge breaks still kind of, but yeah, Brian nailed it. So it's telling you that right now the weakness is, and this is something you can easily see, is that the weakness in NASDAQ extends to the monthly. Easy way to see that, right? The S&P is not the reason things are looking bad. You can see NASDAQ clearly is, so the major sectors in the NASDAQ are the reason the market's pulling back. You see on my screen? You can make this right here. NASDAQ is well below zero, and S&P is riding zero. So you have people getting out of stuff that's NASDAQ specific and jumping into things that are S&P specific. So you'd expect to see like the energy and the financials riding above MHP, right? So let's see, well, maybe not. So financials actually below. So let's see what energy's doing. Energy's above. So you can see how, you have for every something below MHP in a sector, you have. Now, again, this doesn't include the sectors themselves. This is just a broader look at it. But you can clearly see that energy's above and financials are below. You can just kind of look at different ones. XLV clearly above, right? XLK above. So ooh, I like this. Cool. So yeah, you can see it's relatively balanced, right? The entire market. So this is just showing you sector rotating. Another way to see it, right? S&P nice and tidy. Nasdaq looks like garbage, right? His max drawdowns, market material and stage. Yeah, Eric Beaumont, I've noticed that as well. You have to the problem is that you learn a lot. I think a lot of these, I've been looking at the rules. I haven't done a lot of the other types of account they have. Only did 2 of them, the in the day and the static. A lot of times I wouldn't say something like shady, but I'd say that it is, I'll be very honest, the instructions aren't clear as to what it is. Everything's stated somewhere. You just have to dig. And that's what I noticed with it. Like the rules are there. And there's a couple things that were somewhat implied that I had to see clarification on. So one of the things is, and again, I'll err to the side of running a tech company and how it is. I would just say that with so much information floating around, it's just probably a mistake. I don't think anyone would intentionally or deliberately try to fool a client. I think the guys there are really cool. I like them. So I sometimes leave shit out on my website all the time because it's just so much information. But what you can do is send them a message and say, hey, there's this one thing here. Can you maybe make it more clear for us to see it? And they're always really good at responding. Yeah, but you have to dig. The problem is with some of these, you have to really dig. The websites aren't clear as day. This is, or you have to click a button and it brings up another page, and then in there you click a button and it brings up another page. So it's not like a linear education. It's not a linear training curve on how to do it. So in reality, you just have to kind of ask the questions up front. How's the trailing drawdown work? How's the static drawdown work? Is the live the same as the funded, the same as the trial account? And just, it's always good practice. They always have good customer service there. Joel, JMath, he's hella good. I just send him a message and say hey, what's this? What's that? And he would just, answer it. So he would clarify some things I was confused on, but then he'd always point to the website and be like, oh, here it is. And I'm like, oh, there it is. Okay. So if you dig far enough, you'll find most of the stuff there. My advice to them would be to make it less branched. If you have to click a link to go somewhere else, it's like you're reading a huge paragraph and then right at the bottom, it's click here for more details. And there's all your details. It's customers were lazy. You have to say, right? Customers are pretty lazy. Y'all are customers here. Y'all are all lazy. We know it. So if we put a lot of text, you're not going to read it. And so it should be a little bit more easier to follow. That's just general. I'm lazy. I'm not going to lie. If it's not right in front of my face, it's going to be So I know how that goes. Resilience still holding pretty strong. I like it. Let's look at the take profit funding. Danny Reynolds. What is take profit funding? Is that another company? Yeah, I'd like to just cycle through all of them and just kind of be like a what do they call it? Just like a tourist. I would just do one, see the experience, and have some videos on the whole experience and process, and then do another one just to see. I like the process. It's pretty fun. The confusing part to me was that the trailing drawdown stopped. So that became like, it's hard to explain that unless you just do it, then it makes sense. What they call like a static drawdown or a trailing drawdown trails to a certain point. There's not really a term that's synonymous to all trading like platforms. Like trailing drawdown means trailing, but if the trailing drawdown becomes a fixed loss limit, it converts from one to the other. That's what confused me. So when you finally break even, your trailing drawdown is no longer a trailing drawdown past $100. It becomes a fixed loss limit. Like I would call it something different if I ran a company that did that. I would not use words like trailing drawdown. I would use words like I would create a rule that says off of the peak of the day, or create one that says off the peak of the end of the day. So they have two different ones, right? The end of the day drawdown, you're marked at the end of the day and you draw down from there. But it's just that there's no real like term that exists for, static end of the day drawdown to a certain point, then it's a static point you can't fall below. So that part confused me. So the end of the trailing stops trailing. I think a lot of them do that same rule though. But the misnomer is just my inexperience in that world. So like when I hear trailing drawdown, I'm thinking drawdown from the peak. And the part that also was confusing is that realized gain or unrealized gain. And some of the companies out there do the realized gain. Some of them squash you on the unrealized gain. So like if you hit that drawdown, the max loss limit, you're out, you either blow the account or you get another chance. So they're all different. They're all slightly different. So the easiest way to do it is to find a way to compare them all side by side. And they all use slightly different language for like what's drawdown, loss limit, and just kind of make your own rules using their descriptors and then compare them side by side. And then when you do that, which is why I did that, you'll see that they all kind of are the same. They have basically three rules. You have either trailing drawdown from the peak of the account or a trailing drawdown from the peak of the day, marked at the end of the day, or marked in the open position. So those are the two things you have to determine. Does your current trade that made money move that line? So an example is if I had 50K and I made 1,000. So I had 51,000 and I enter a second trade on the day and start losing money. Is my drawdown marked from the trade that I made, or is it marked from yesterday's end of day? So clearly if I make one trade and then I go into a second trade, if the first trade counts towards the peak, then that is not as good as if I'm still marked from the previous day, gives me a bigger loss limit. So, or lower loss limit. So the idea is that you have to determine, do your current trades count and does your open position count? Those are the two kind of things you have to dive into each one of them and make sure you understand. Yeah. You're a tourist, Marla. I need this. Get out. Dude, I watched Fight Club. Nicole never saw Fight Club. I made her watch it like 2 days ago when we were in Dallas. So like we were talking about, I think it was her sister's husband was talking about something. I think it's called Mr. Robot or something. There's some new show he was talking about. He said, you have to watch it. And he was talking about I think he was talking about that show. And whatever he was saying was reminding me about Fight Club. And I was like, ooh, Fight Club, I can't. And then like, the girls were like, because Nicole watches a ton of movies. So she's seen like every movie too. And she'd never seen Fight Club. I was like, how have you never seen Fight Club? So we made all the girls sit down and watch Fight Club, and her mom was watching it too. And they loved it. So Travis was quoting at the end of the movie because he was going to all the support groups just because it was helping him sleep better, and she was going there for the free coffee and entertainment, and he's like, Marla, I need this, you're a tourist. And she's like, yeah, it's to like, I just say is that in my experience with the just to finalize the conversation on the trader funding programs, you just have to make sure there's only really, like I said, there's only really three boundaries. What's the lowest low you go? And Karan is the one that kind of gave me a tip on this. It's like every day you just need to know, either every day, what's your cutoff point that you lose the account, or if you make a trade and then adjust that, then what's your cutoff point after every trade. So if you follow that live, and no matter what funding program you use, you'll always know where you need to get out. So don't get into a trade unless you've written down like where's that part you need to pay attention to. So that's kind of the thing, is like you should always just keep a track of what's the point that knocks you out. And like I said, each program is different. Each program has different types of accounts too. So I made a little spreadsheet that every morning I know exactly where I would be for the end of day drawdown one. Now this account is static, so this one's kind of cool because it's a fixed place. I mean, I know exactly there's only one level that blows this account up. So this one's a little easier. All right, let's check out my res is still strong. I like it. I'm not too concerned with this. Okay, we're getting some movement at 9:30. I wonder if there's anything. Yesterday, Wednesday? Oh, the EIA report came out. Hold on. Let's see if there's anything booty on oil. Just noise. There's a slightly bigger draw than expected for distillates. Crude oil inventories. Estimate was a build, and then again they had a draw. Oil tends to price this up in real time. Let's see what the XLE did, or let's see what the USO did. I was like, where's this volatility coming from? Pretty much noise, no change. That's expected. Okay, let's see if the energy stocks are doing anything. Let me just monthly map this. God, I love this monthly map. It's so great. Pretty rock solid, pretty revert to mean going into earnings, which is interesting. So it doesn't make me too scared. I don't know. I think I'm on my vacation there. I do like the trade. I do like how things are set up. I just don't know if I want to stay in it. I don't know if I'd be milking it if I try for anything more. I think I'll hold my position in my 10K challenge account. I'm looking to fill the gap. So I'm up 3K in that one. Never back down. Oh, that's a good movie. So I went to middle school with Sean Ferris, the guy in that movie. And a funny story, when I was running, I was in middle school, I was running for student council vice president. And it sounds like the stupidest story in the world. I was 11 years old. And the lead actor in that movie never backed down. What I was talking about was my campaign manager. So him and I were campaigning for me to be student council vice president in middle school. And here he goes, he becomes a famous actor down the road. So we had this thing where we would stand in the hallway, and me and him would jump up in the air and like say, "We want to be your vice president," and we'd point at the person when they'd walk by. And they thought it was so cute. They loved it. But we lost to some asshole 11-year-old who promised they're going to get Coke machines in the cafeteria. How 11-year-old have that power? We never got no Coke machines. Campaign on failed promises, so we didn't win. We lost. We lost to some jerk that lied. That's politics, baby. Right? That's politics. Where yeah, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, we like Matt and Sean, but this other person, Coke machines, that'd be kind of cool." Like, how do you? I know Coke machines. So, but I remember being at my house when I was younger, and my dad was rehearsing with us the routine. And I talked to him as when after he came out with some of his first movies. I touched base with him. He's had a pretty cool life. He was only in our city, lived in the state for a couple of years, but pretty cool dude. One of my best buddies in elementary, middle school. Resilience still hanging in there, but we are in hedge pressure break territory, and IWM is pulling back a second time, so be careful. Still not too terribly scared of this, but it's going to be a little bouncy because of this. Right? I'm not in too big of a trade here, but you got to be careful on these hedge breaks, especially Russell being the stronger of the two. If it's losing, that's something to really take caution on. But it's neat to see that the gap fill mechanics are still pretty good. I know everyone's knee-jerk response is to probably want to fade that pop. I think there's a lot of people really wanting to fade that. But the DD ratio being so high is just showing how stuck up here in bull territory we are. It might actually end up being a loss. I do cut it. Got to be very careful here. The other guy become governor of Florida and student council in 5th grade. Oh yeah, probably. It's actually a girl who was running Coke machines in the cafeteria with 11-year-olds. Gonna promise that, but they won. But that's okay. Like, I don't think having student council vice president on my resume would have got me anywhere at 11 years old. So even so, like if we do push down, there's likely to be a bounce in there. I could scoop out a trade from here to here, but like I said, I don't like to trade on hedge breaks. I was being a little hopeful that we had this resilience setup is pretty good here. Resilience is still pretty strong, interestingly enough. Short squeeze can take some time for the market to continue to unwind. There are people that are selling into that pop. Very clear to see that, but there's a lot of people buying. There's enough people covering that short. So it's going to be really hard to say, but I mean, again, hedge pressure breaks can be pretty bad. We have 4 irrational lights. I probably should just kind of like call that a day before I, yeah. Meh. So my last step is to say, do I want to actually take the hedge pressure long or support from here to trade it up? For hedge pressure breaks, there's 4 of them. This can be just kind of really nasty. It's going to bounce around a lot. Resilience is still positive. DD is still positive. It's likely to support and bounce and chop through here more than it is to collapse out. So I only got in something small just in case it did break and rally for that upside gap fill. There's a lot of potential here. Nasdaq pushing a bear zone when we got that bull DD number. So, meh. All right. How do I want to do this? And Q resilience pulling back down closer to 0, so we are losing some of that power there. I'm going to be very cautious. 3. This is well below my limit of what I want to do. So, not feeling too comfortable about this anymore. But not really scared of it either. Got 2 really strong bull setup supports here. Resiliences are still okay. IWM hedge break, that's kind of scaring things, right? Just a little bit of that push selling there. If IWM loses hedge for a strike, I'm gonna assume the rest of the market's done for the day. Yeah. And it's like just one contract, nothing too big. I wonder what Apple's doing now. Still pushing Google. Just find some Yeah. Still some big tech. Tesla. Yeah. So you're just getting some nastiness from some of the bigger companies. Let me see what some of these banks are doing today. Goldman Sachs holding out. JP. Someone's Wells Fargo. Yep. So normally, if you try to break through hedge, if you break through and try to recover and you break through again, it's not the best setup. It would be rare for this to push higher and break through hedge a second time with the mechanics here. So I do feel like this is probably going to be a loss. I might just cut it at half cap. We'll see. Are you guys? What's my entry point? That's pretty. 4160 blah. Okay. I did take the long from here. I did want to add to the position here, but again, like I said, this is a funded account. I don't want to risk too much on it. Just trading us all. I'm trying to trade one trade to get a windfall, just to put some buffer in the account so I can trade a little more aggressively. But I'm trading more aggressively in my actual account, which I do mirror the same trades, by the way. I don't play different sides. I always trade the same direction. I never wash my trade risk. If I'm long here, I'm long there. Travis, like, oh, the old soda machine lunchroom. I should promise that we have Jack Daniels in the cafeteria. I'm gonna open up a bar, a dance club. I could have won that election. I could have been like, if you vote for me, I'll have the Power Rangers come at the pep rally. Oh wow! Just trust me. I have so many weird stories about life. I've kind of done so much. 2 recess. Yeah, that's right. UVXY kind of saving itself. We need to really pay attention to Russell, because Russell being the stronger of the three. If Russell shits the bed today, it's going to be a pretty bad news situation. Let's keep an eye on Russell. Start watching today. Ice cream at recess. There you go. And Q, resilience holding the fort still. I'm going to trust resilience and DD today. Like I said, if we take a little bit of a nosedive on SPY, I know where my maximum loss will be, because anywhere SPY is, it's going to want to support at 409. So the question is, how much drawdown am I willing to take? Those lower DD bands, I got to kind of figure out where those would be. About 6 points lower. So about right there, give or take. So this is kind of bad. I'm just waiting to see if resilience does continue to press us higher. I don't like these things. The UVXY hedge break is one of the things that's going to expand the volatility, which is what we're seeing, right? The volatility expansion. So it doesn't necessarily mean the market's collapsing. It means volatility is present. So the question becomes is, are we just experiencing volatility or a sell-off? And the UVXY hedge break gives me a clue that volatility just got wider. So it's not scaring me out of the market yet. It's not completely like a sell-off situation. This is just volatility, which isn't a bad thing. But volatility can be a bad thing because volatility can stimulate more selling because of the lack of liquidity. So what I'm waiting to see is this just volatility getting bigger? A dip turns around and rallies. Okay, maybe. But yeah, these are all flagging kind of meh. Don't like what I see. And resilience is strong enough for me to say that it would be very weird for resilience being this strong for this to lose a lot of momentum very rapidly. That this is just volatility off that initial selling. We are filling the gap to the downside, which was SPY did, as you see. So SPY is filling its gap. This is what I want to see, just to test to see if there's buyers here. My theory that we are in a short squeeze. This is where they'll manifest and start coming in. So, yep, VIX just entered an illiquidity pocket, and that is the scary part as well. So, or VIX is in a illiquidity pocket. So this breaking can run very rapidly, and the market can spiral pretty quick. So we're basically like balancing on a thumbtack right now. So I do want to see this collapse under here because the illiquidity pocket would fall pretty quick. So I'm still in the camp that we are still short squeezing. But if it doesn't happen today, clearly the monthly maps show that we've got 2 more weeks of solidness and we have earnings coming up as well. So that's kind of one of those things that could also create some turbulence. All right. All right, you guys, I got to bounce because I have a meeting coming up in 15 minutes. So I got to prep for that. But I'm going to hold on my position. If I lose the bull zone, I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably close out at bull zone and regain along at bull zone as well. As long as we stay supporting a bull zone, that DD is going to float. I feel pretty good about that. I'm not scared of the market. Resilience doesn't lie. Resilience is very strong. There's enough market cap pushing both sides that this very well could break hedge and go to the upside. It's one of those weird catalyst days. I know everybody's knee-jerk reaction is to sell pops in a bear market. I think today's the day that they're going to be very sorry for doing that. It's just the evidence is here. The evidence is here. Like, it's fighting. If Russell saves itself one more time, then the market's a go. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. I have a 10 o'clock, so I gotta bounce and get ready for it. But we love y'all. Thanks for tuning in, and good luck. Good luck, everyone.